this morning, Alyssa?
I'm feeling okay. Day 3. I didn't get broken by day 2, so I'm very pleased about that.
Like this thing right here, right nose it. Watch out, guys.
All right, moving forward, moving forward.
Do you want us to pass food up?
All right, everyone.
Okay. Cruising to the finish with you.
Okay.
Can't wait.
All right.
I see it. Have fun. You got this. Alyssa and I have been working together for about 7-8 years now. When she first contacted me as a 24-year-old, she already at that young age had some of the toughest 100-mile ultramarathons under her belt. So I looked at her as someone that I can make anything out of this girl, because she has like the raw ingredients for being an amazing endurance athlete. She just needs to be sort of like pointed in the right direction and given some structure.
I watched the documentary with Nikki Kimball after she set the record, and it was really inspiring, you know, but there was definitely this moment when I was watching it where I felt like the door was open. And I have been following FKTs and long trail hiking attempts and through hikes for several years, and I just thought, you know what, I think my strength is kind of putting in that type of effort day after day. The door is open, and Nikki had a really inspiring story about wanting women to step up and go for it and do their best, and so I did. I think my cruise job is actually harder than my job with this project, because all I have to do is put one foot in front of the other and just keep walking at the very least, whereas they're going to be probably more sleep deprived than I am and constantly trying to figure out how to get to the next spot, what can they get me, how to cook that, what do they need to have ready, what needs to be recharged, all of that. And that kind of job is very stressful, so I consider my job the easy one on this trip.
I slept like a baby for 4 hours.
Nice.
And then my eyes popped open at 3 in the morning.
And you're ready to go.
And I was like, ah. And I looked to my left, and there was a stranger in the shelter sleeping next to me. Oh my God.
Another, I just think, really cool moment was doing Camel's Hump. Like, she had told me before that it was a really tough section, 6 miles uphill. You saw it because you were out on it. And just doing that with her was kind of a highlight, and coming up and seeing all the mountains, and we got a few sneak peeks on the way up. So I was just enjoying my time on the mountain, and was like thankful that she asked me to come. I thought it was amazing. So,
Okay. Tell us about your adventures last night.
Well, it started with a lovely climb up Camel's Hump. It actually was nice and dry, so that was helpful. Made it up a good time. And then met up with Matt for the last 10 miles of that 18-mile segment. And things started to deteriorate after that with the conditions. Turns out the backside of Camel's Hump was super wet, 3 miles or so from Appalachian Gap. The skies opened up.
And mean, I personally felt uneasy just standing out at the trailhead in the dark before the rain even hit. Like, I felt like I was in, I don't know where, middle of nowhere, and it was pitch black, so like unnerving. And so all of these things combined, I was ready for her to come in and say, like, this is like nuts and I'm done, because she was far enough in to be so tired that her resolve would have been weakened by this point, or most people's resolve would have been weakened by this point. So, an hour plus past when we expected her, we finally see a headlamp emerge from the trailhead. And she walks up like, hey guys, in tank top and shorts, like no clothes on, basically, and has just been poured on and was completely unfazed and normal. So my speech, my pep talk went out the window, and I decided I better act normal as well because she was fine.
Hi, everyone.
Hi. Oh, dude, you are so freaking amazing.
This extreme strength that she's showing this weekend really has been like so many years in the making. And absolutely it is something that we work on training like month after month, year after year. There are a lot of things that we do, and Alyssa does in particular in training, that are harder than anything she'll ever encounter on race day, and that's done intentionally. Not so much like things like running, 19 miles of intervals on the track, like circles and circles and circles by herself. Running marathons on the treadmill. We celebrate, I believe we celebrated Thanksgiving last fall with Alyssa's first annual 50K fun run that she had to do like by herself the day after Thanksgiving. Like that was that was what we do. And so we like to just invent all of these little sort of challenges along the way that she'll take a look at her training plan and be like, oh crap, like what is this? What is coach thinking? And it's kind of that like shock factor and having to put her through the exercise of wondering whether she can complete something. So with someone like Alyssa, I'm continually having to like up the bar and come up with like new and creative challenges because her threshold is so high.
When Alyssa was a kid, could you ever have pictured her doing something like this?
She liked challenging. She liked doing different things.
Doing things sooner than others.
Coming. It was a kind of funny aside. We had put Taylor Swift on my phone playing as we were walking, just to kind of break up the monotony of like being in the woods in the dark and like you're kind of in this like tunnel vision zone. And this stupid Taylor Swift song, Out of the Woods song comes on. I don't know if you know it, but the song just repeats like, are we out of the woods? Yeah, are we out of the woods? Yeah, are we out of the woods? And it was like during that song that she like hit this mental breakdown. And I remember the song coming on and being like, oh no, I was like I just hadn't even thought about that song being like in the repertoire. So I actually made a playlist for this afternoon that has all the Taylor Swift songs except that one on it. To try to avoid that, and she admitted the next morning when we were like in a lighter mood about it, she was like, that Taylor Swift song came on about getting out of the woods, and I was like, we're never getting out of the woods.
The hardest moment for me was coming down Stratton Mountain, and it was day 4. I had about a 50K left to go, and I was feeling the sleep deprivation, and somewhere within the sleep deprivation I realized that I had been going for almost 24 hours, you know, by the time I was through the next segment, on already very little sleep, and that really started to get to me, because body-wise I was feeling okay, everything, but 35-ish miles was going to be a long way to go when I was walking, you know, and hiking pretty slow at that point. And I was just really beginning to kind of panic that I would slow down too much, and we hadn't allotted for that last night of sleep that I really thought I needed.
But we've been on, me, her, and Hillary have been on some epic bike rides. Yeah, was Hillary telling you, like, non-verbal, just wanting to die, and I never seen her really break down that bad. And I'm telling you, we've had some horrible situations, and I've never seen her crack. So I just expect the same here. I mean, barring injury or anything like that, mentally she'll make it.
That's big, guys.
Huge.
That's really cool. I don't think most people look this rough, but I think I'm just so impressed with how the crew, my best friends, my parents all came together. And I mean, they flew in 24 hours in advance. They were given a binder and with directions, and then they were able to take me on this journey, and it just meant so much, because I think in Ironman racing, you know, I travel to Europe by myself a lot. I can pull off an Ironman race on my own, and I realized that after 10 miles on the trail, I needed every single person out there to help me, and I'm just so impressed that they were able to stick through it for 5 days and be that selfless and just take care of me. Oh, perfect. I'm so emotional.